All right, we made it back to Old Town in Philadelphia. We went online yesterday, I think it was yesterday morning, and I reserved tickets.
Tuesday.
Yeah, so you come to the Visitors Center in Philadelphia to pick them up, but you could do it online. It does cost $1.50 to reserve each ticket online, but the tickets are free. Well, kind of. I guess $1.50. So we are scheduled to go through Independence Hall at 12:20 today. You report to security 20 minutes before your time. We're doing some construction here. Not construction, but I think weeding. We're heading out towards the Constitution Center, which is on this side. And we're not going to go into Constitution Center quite yet. We're going to go pay our respects to the first American, Dr. Benjamin Franklin, where he is laid to rest.
Well, you didn't let the guy hand up.
Okay, as you saw, it was $3 to enter the burial ground. Lori's kindly holding the map here. And another $1 for the map. So there are 6, 7 signers, I think, in here. Benjamin Franklin is in here. Here he is, Dr. Benjamin Franklin. He'll be back. Where are we? Where did we come in?
We came in.
Main gate. Oh, he's over here.
No, he's over this way.
Oh, he's over that way. Oh, he's right over there, right over Lori's shoulder. So let's pay our respects.
Watch the people behind you.
Yeah, no, there's one. No, you want to try it again, though? I think you should.
So the tradition at Ben Franklin graves is to toss a penny because of his saying, a penny saved is a penny earned. And that's why people throw pennies. Although some people throw things a little bit more than a penny. Like a quarter. So for your convenience, on the map they've got a number of famous people, and they've marked with these flags, these Betsy Ross flags, 13 colony flags, and you can find them quite easily. So Francis Hopkinson was a signer. These are not original stones. They can't be, because as you can see, some of the stones are so worn down to the nub. But they do have replacement markers for the signers and the big names here. So Joseph Hughes and then George Ross, both signers of the Declaration of Independence. It's very peaceful, very cool here today. Always go into old cemeteries in big towns like this, and historic towns, especially in Boston. You'll find a great amount of history. I did want to mention, you don't have to pay $3 to come in and see Ben Franklin's grave. You can see there's people over here. There's a fence. Let's see if I can zoom in on that. So you can see it from the outside of the street. Well, that fence is conveniently placed right there where Ben Franklin is. And you can throw your penny from there. All right. I think we're gonna head on over to Independence Hall, maybe look at the gardens around back again, and get ready for our time over there. So we'll see you then.
George Washington's army during the trip. Can't prove that it's true, right? But there was a beautiful young Quaker widow. And she had a house in Burlington County where her family lived. We had this one, isolated house.
We did have to go through security to come in here. They check everything, actually. It's kind of like airport security. But there she is. There it is. We're about to go in and have a tour. Hopefully I'll be able to videotape as we go.
Independence Home Tour. My name is Betsy, and I am the park ranger who's going to take you on the tour. It goes fast. Someone asked me when they came in with this group, can you take pictures?
I would say yes. We're going to try to spend as much time as we can in this room. This is the most important room. There are two rooms we're going to visit. The first room is the courtroom, and then the second room is this room. It's called the Assembly Room of Independence Hall. You name the founding father, they were in this particular room. Two major events happened in this room. Number one, the Declaration of Independence was approved and signed in this Assembly Room. 1776. And then 11 years later, that's what you see illustrating this painting, the laws of the United States were written and signed. So this is what I want to tell you. As the Pennsylvania State House, it was the government building for the colony of Pennsylvania. The nickname Independence Hall comes about is because we declared our independence from Great Britain in the room straight across. Now it took 25 years to complete the building. It was completed in 1732, and I have news for you. That's the year George Washington was born. So this is an old building by United States standards. Now we're in a courtroom, and this is the highest court for the colony. So let me explain how it works. Your site will fit 100 people. We have 70 people on this tour. So 100 people can come to these trials that took place here, and they're interested. Still popular. So we don't get people in candidates. The actors here are not happy. And the government officials are happy as they are. Each colony says self-government. You go to the next room, I suggest you go to the prayer. To one another. Now let's talk some historic dates. July the 2nd, 1776, the vote took place here. Why don't we move up a bit? Some people are in the hall. July 2nd, 1776. Should we or should we not break away from Great Britain? And you know the outcome. It could have gone either way. They go with the majority. Breakaway. And the most popular man in this room, literally, on July 2nd, is a 33-year-old red-headed lawyer from Virginia by the name of Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson was an outstanding writer. He spoke and wrote 5 languages fluently. And all the government officials said, give the job to Jefferson. So he couldn't predict the future. He didn't know if they're going to use this declaration. but they voted to break away, he shows it, and Mr. Jefferson's Declaration of Independence is edited for 2 days. So everybody, what day do we celebrate American independence? July what? 4th. That's why July 4th. The Second Continental Congress agrees on the 4th of July how this declaration is going to be written. When do they tell us, the average citizen? Not until July 8th, right in the back here. Because, once you sign the declaration, or, if you're committing treason, and plus, they didn't release the names really until 1777, probably, who signed. And they knew no one was going to be happy with the news that we're going to break away from our own country, so they had to get the military situated. So they wait till July 8th to announce it, and they decide they're going to give the men several weeks to think about if they really want to sign, because it's such a big step. So you know what's interesting? They signed in this room about a month later, August 2nd, 1776. You're all from different places. These men were all from different colonies, so they came here in the morning into the night to sign, 56. Now, if you want to see the actual signed Declaration of Independence, you have to organize a trip and visit the National Archives in Washington, D.C. Now, the American Revolution lasted, as we were saying, 8 years. It didn't look so good for us, but we win. And after the war, George Washington very graciously hands back his power, and things aren't going well. So they come back here, and this is something we can relate to, during a heat wave. This summer of 1787, when they wrote the Constitution here, was like really hot. The humidity was awful. That's what James Madison wrote in his notes.
Well, that was our tour of the Independence Hall. Took some stills and some movie along with it. What I didn't experience last time, Lori and I didn't experience last time we were here, which was 18 years ago, was, first of all, it does take a long time to get in. Not a long time. If you get your ticket at the visitor center and you get in here on your time, it's not that bad a wait. So we got there about 12 o'clock and waited about 20 minutes to get in. They start in the east room, or the east wing, then they take you in, show you the courthouse that you saw, and then the signing room where they signed both Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution. Then they took you, there's this hall right over here, right behind me was, they actually, you saw, well, I can show them right here, the Constitution, which was actually George Washington's version of the Constitution, and then a Declaration of Independence. You saw that at the Museum of American Revolution. What was really neat was the first Congress Hall, which was this building right here, and pictures of right now you're seeing some pictures of the House of Congress, and then we went upstairs and saw where the Senate chambers were. So that was different and interesting. And then in all the little committee rooms that Pennsylvania made available to the United States, while Washington was being prepared for our capital. So yeah, they stayed here. Our Congress presided here until they moved to the final place. Fantastic, Philadelphia. I'm not sure if I got all my history right, but this is definitely the highlight for me right now on this trip. Fantastic.